Ian Jacklin, welcome to Brett Russell Chats.
Thank you very much, Brett. I really appreciate it. It's like you said, we've been friends for a few years and never really got to sink in and talk. So I'm glad we have the moment. This is a good time for it.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. And I was just going to say that you're a world-renowned actor, filmmaker, kickboxing champion, and activist. What an achievement, mate, in your life so far. And I'm sure you're kicking goals still. And what made you get into martial arts? What made you sort of become a martial artist? How did that all get into play?
Yeah. Wow. This is probably good timing you have right now to nail me like this because, life's up and down, and you caught me on a down. I'm not going to lie. I'm borderline. I'm basically homeless. My relationship's ending. It's like, my whole life is falling apart. And that's why I was almost not even going to take this because I thought, nobody wants to hear my shit.
No, you're all right.
But I thought, what the hell? It's never perfect. Every fight you train for to get in the ring, something always goes wrong. As soon as somebody punches you in the face, oh, okay, that's what's going on.
You got to get back into it. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with the flow, and I'll try not to be the victim or be too much of a whatever. But this is life, okay? So all you young guys out there, no, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be straight, and hopefully you could take something from me today that'll help you get through these tough times. And maybe by discussing things with you, you'll help me. Because like I said, I basically a 5-year relationship just ended, and I'm not happy with it. I don't think it was the correct thing to do. So I'm in that stage, I'm in denial. Now, don't get me wrong. We're still talking. I love her. She loves me. And you never know. But today we're coming into this. I'm a little sore.
Yeah. No, you're all right, mate. You're all right. It's all good. It's so, man, what got you into martial arts? What
Okay.
Take us back in time.
Yeah, it was being bullied. By everyone. And I just had enough. And there was somebody else that they beat up. They beat up one of my best friends it's like the first day of school, great high school,
Yeah.
And they beat him up. And there was nothing I could do about it. So I got my mom to get me in karate. So you have to get me in karate. You have to. Because I just saw Bruce Lee beat up like 10 guys in a movie, and I thought, see, I need that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it worked. By 14, I was starting karate, Kempo karate. Basic stuff. A lot of kickboxing in the Kempo karate. Like, we would always put the gloves on and box or kickbox, and that's the key. Bruce Lee said, "You learn to fight by fighting."
Yep.
Okay, so
actually, I was just going to say, Ian, when I was really young, in Australia, we had like a full contact tournament, and it was put on by, you'd know this chap, no doubt. He was the grand master of Kempo karate, Ed Parker.
Ed Parker, yeah, he was my guy too. Yeah.
Okay.
And Tracy, there's another guy named Tracy. My master was Ralph Chinnick, and he went from both at times, both Tracy and the guy you just said. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. That's good. Yeah. And so you were sort of training and obviously doing club fights and club tournament stuff, and that's how it all sort of got in.
Yeah, I did one point contact tournament just to see what it was like, and it was horrible because the guy just went like that, touched me, and it was over. I'm like, but that wouldn't have hurt me,
Yeah.
So I quit doing point contact right away. I went to the kickboxing, and so I started at 14. By 15, like, I was a yellow belt. I was kicking, but all the black belts are coming up to me saying, "Wow," And within a couple of years, I was fighting for the championship, the Canadian title, by the age of 18. So, and I won that, and I had that eye of the tiger, man. I had
Yeah.
I had my moment where I was losing a fight.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this one. It was in Detroit, I think, and the guy was starting to get the better of me again. And this is the second or third fight, so I'm starting to see what fights are like. Oh my God, this guy's trying to kill me. You know,
Yes.
what am I doing here? You know, and I thought, well, you're here now. You may as well not quit. Go for it. So, and in that moment, he was starting to beat me up, and I was starting to get scared. I switched it. I just went animal. I let my instincts come over and say, it's kill or be killed. That's it. And you're allowed to kill him as much as he's allowed to kill you. That was the thing that used to bother me. It's funny how you and I were talking earlier about that martial art that had to kill somebody. It's like, I was more worried about hurting the guy than I was him hurting me.
Yes. Yeah.
But I got over it, and I threw a roundhouse kick, broke his arm, and then knocked him out. And that was it. I just kept winning pretty much from then on. Through the Canadian Championship, North American, #2 in the world.
Wow. You were fighting sort of, this would have been late 80s. Is this late 80s, early 90s? Or was it sort of mid 80s?
Yes. Late 80s. I'll never forget 1988 was my favorite year. I fought at Madison Square Garden against John Kenny.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Lou Neglia was the producer or promoter, and he still is a big promoter in New York.
Yeah.
They just kept always having me. I was from Canada, Ontario, Canada, and they kept bringing me down to New York to fight in Brooklyn at the Gleason's Gym and at the, as I said, the big one, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And I basically got to the point where I should be doing this as a profession, and why not?
Yeah.
Doing well. And here's big in California. Benny the Jet Urquidez had his the Jet Center there in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And that's where all the big fighters were. We're in Los Angeles. So I decided I jumped on my motorcycle with a tent sleeping bag with a few days worth of notice, say goodbye to everything, and that was it, man. And I slowly, within a year from that date, I was starring in movies. I was starring in a movie called Kickboxer.
Yeah, man. So the transition of going from, so you're fighting in New York City, you're doing all this. How did that transition happen into getting into your first movie? Like, how did that happen? Sort of walk us through it.
I forgot one thing. I had a quick, brief boxing experience. Lennox Lewis was from Kitchener, Ontario. I'm from London, Ontario. They're about an hour away. His first pro fight, he just won the gold medal in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
And he was to have his first pro fight in Canada. So he just happened to be training in my gym. So his trainer, who he went with the English were now backing him. So even though he's Canadian, he's fighting out of England. His trainer sees me, goes, damn, there's a white boy that can fight. Let's bring him back with us.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what the hell? Because there's no money in kickboxing. This is the 90s. This is the 80s, actually. There's no money in kickboxing.
Yeah.
So, and I thought they had already done a documentary about me, and I just had this feeling I was supposed to be doing something other than being an apprentice electrician, in my hometown of Canada. I felt like I was supposed to do more. When you're young, you're hungry like that. You have that cheese. So I just went for it. And Kickboxer 3. I remember I came home partying one night, and one of my trainers said, Ian, they're auditioning for Kickboxer 3. Now, I saw Kickboxer 1 in the theater, which is what made me move to Hollywood. I thought, if Van Damme can do that, why can't I?
Yeah.
So I went to the audition. I was hungover like crazy because I was partying the night before. I mean, unbelievable. Which turned out to be to my benefit, because the guy that I was going to be fighting against in the movie is named Sasha Mitchell.
Yeah.
He's on a TV show here called Step by Step.
Yeah.
He took over Van Damme's spot, and I came in as the bad guy.
Okay.
And I didn't look all that good because I was hungover and probably a little chubby like I am now. I wasn't in
your primes.
My primes to party and having fun in California. And so it didn't look. I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. But by the time they gave it to me, it was months down the line, and I got back in shape.
Okay.
So I was. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Kickboxer 3, but I was shredded.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out to my advantage that I was hungover when I, you know what I mean?
When you did
it. For
yeah.
Because you know, he may not have wanted me to be in that because I look better than the stars. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that because it didn't happen until down the line. But
yeah.
anyway.
So, you know, what was it like being in a martial arts movie? Like, I mean, as a martial artist, this would be your dream, right? I mean, not only you're a martial arts artist in fighting, but now you're a martial artist and you're in Hollywood and you're doing a movie. Like, I mean, that's that's a dream. Yeah. I mean, what
it was, and almost ruined me because basically all my dreams came true within the first year or two of being in Hollywood. I was starring in movies. I was still fighting. I ended up having a fight for the world championship. I fought Javier Mendez twice. I fought him once. I beat him the first time. He's the guy that owns, AKA, trains Cain Velasquez and Khabib.
That's right. Yeah.
Danielle Cormier, all those guys. Him and we fought twice, and I beat him the first. He beat me the second.
Wow.
And so all my dreams came true in a quick period of time.
Wow.
And it was just unfortunate, though, because it's true about Hollywood, who runs it. They're evil people. And they basically offered me the deal within, probably within 4 or 5 years of me being there. It was on the table, 6-picture deal. You just got to hang out with me and my gay Jewish friends, and we'll be fine. And I was like, oh, excuse me? Wait, what was that? I haven't killed anybody yet. Oh my God. I mean, I just saw my dreams go away from me. I thought, that's real? This is back in the 90s, Wow. Now it's everywhere. P. Diddy, the whole bit,
Yeah.
Everybody knows now, but nobody knew then. I definitely didn't know.
Yeah.
It just broke my heart because my dreams all came true. I mean, I was just a kid from Canada. I got picked on a lot when I was a kid, beat up. And I mean, I put my life together. I became a warrior, a man, a strong, solid man. And
mate, Ian, just going back there a bit, because I mean, obviously, going back into the martial arts. Well, I mean, you were fighting world champions. You in full contact fighting, and you were a world champion. You're a world champion, right?
Well, I was number 2 in the world, and Javier was, I think, number 1. And when we fought, he won the title. So he did win the world title. I was number 2 in the world, Canadian and the North American champ. I actually never did win a world title, but I was always fighting. They always wanted me to fight Rob Common, Don Wilson.
Yeah, that's right, Don Wilson. Yeah, Don the Dragon Wilson.
I was supposed to fight him my first fight, but they gave me Javier Mendez instead because I said, I'm not fighting the legend the first fight out. And it worked out better because him and I became friends and trained together. And I trained so hard sparring with Don Wilson that I was able to easily beat Javier Mendez when we fought the first time.
Yeah.
So it worked out really good for me.
I was going to say, you did some films. Did you do a film with Don Wilson? You did a Tell us about that, man. What was that like?
Well, again, my 20s were awesome. So if I'm whining a little now, it's okay because trust me, if y'all had my 20s, you'd say you ain't got nothing to complain about because it was fun. Boy, was it fun.
No, and so filming. What was it like on set with? I mean, obviously Don Wilson. We all know. Obviously, he did amazing films in the 80s, early 90s. What was it like being on a film with Don Wilson?
It was so fun. I mean, I just got there from Canada, and they're putting me in movies. It was like the movie you see about Hollywood. The kid gets off the bus, and they make him a star.
Yeah,
I mean, that basically happened to me. And the money wasn't amazing, say, like A films, but there are a lot of B movie films and stuff. But still, I didn't have to work a regular job.
Yeah.
I just trained with the gym all the time, went to acting schools. I took acting very seriously the way I did fighting. Yeah. And I got quite good at it. I went to the best acting schools, and I was told by my peers, I'm like the new Brando, the young Brando. I mean, I was hardcore into this. So it was only right that I got this, this deal because nobody else was better than me.
Yeah.
Except somebody else that was better than me and sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I don't do that. I said right away, I said, thanks, but no thanks. I'll make it on my own. And I just walked away from that guy.
Yeah.
Broken hearted. I mean, I put years I put into the acting schools and everything. And man, to not be allowed what I deserved because of my sexual preference. So like women, I don't get to be a movie star.
Yeah.
So I really got burnt out, and I hated Hollywood. I hated the people there. I mean, they're fucking scumbags, man. I'm so glad that Kanye West came out and told the truth, and all these other guys, the brothers are coming out and saying, you know what? No, you guys ain't doing that to us no more.
Yeah.
And it's about time somebody stood up because I'm tired of bullies, and that's what they are. They bully people around, and they ruin people's lives. I can't imagine how many young men that were easily influenced. I'm a champion fighter, like you said. I'm a champion.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You're asking me, you're lucky I don't kill you right now for disrespecting me like that,
Yeah.
But some other young kid from Canada or wherever he came from, and his parents, I hope he's going to make it. His friends, I hope he's going to make it. Who knows what they would have done to make it, and kill themselves down the line, I'm sure. So and that's happened.
Because as you said, like these days now, it is coming out this sort of, more knowledge about, as you said, the P Diddy stuff is pretty big in the news, and it's crazy. It's crazy what they're alleging and what sort of went on there.
Yeah, and it happened to me. So I'm here to say what Kanye West is saying and everybody else. It's true. They're scumbags in this world, and they run it. And but the good thing is nobody can hurt me. See, I could have ruined myself by going along with that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, my career wasn't as fun. I ended up an Uber. I'm teaching kickboxing. I'm a health coach. I help people cure themselves of cancer. I mean,
I was going to say that. Yeah, man.
This story gets better, folks. Don't worry.
Yeah. Because, mate, like moving out of that. I mean, obviously, then you got into filmmaking, and then the activist aspect, and I know you did the documentary I Cure Cancer. Is that correct? And so talk about this aspect, mate. What led you into that?
Well, here's where the truth comes out. I was never meant to be a movie star in Hollywood. I was meant to learn that cancer was curable if you stayed away from your oncologist. I was put on this planet to learn that we're not run by the United States of America or any other country. We're run by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts. There's 13 bloodlines that run the family. They're all very bad.
Yes.
They're reptilian. They have Rh negative blood, which means they're not monkey. We're monkey genes. We have monkey genes in us.
Yes.
They have Rh negative. Now, that's not to say all Rh negative people are bad. I've dated Rh negative girls, friends, guys that I know. It depends. If you grew up drinking blood on weekends, sacrificing children to Satan, you're a bad person. I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
If you're just a regular person, you're gay or not, whatever you are, trans, I don't give a shit. As long as you don't disrespect me and I don't have to whoop your ass, we're good.
Yeah. And mate, you obviously you did this documentary, I've seen it's really brought some things. It's obviously about basically you helping yourself with curing yourself. Is that's what it's all about, isn't it?
I mean, well, that was just a bonus later down the line. In the beginning, I was doing a play with this actress named J. Cynthia Brooks, very talented actress, good friend of mine. I knew her from years before, and we both run Days of Our Lives at different times. And then we ended up in this play together, and I overheard her telling her friend she cured herself of cancer. And I said, "What?
Wow.
Yeah, what?" I said, "What are you talking?" I thought, "Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit." Yeah. And so I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? My doctor can't even do that. How did you do that?" And just next thing you know, I've come out in the year of 2006, a movie called I Cure Cancer. And I interviewed her and a lot of people like her that basically had cancer, was given the death sentence by their doctor, saying, well, even with the, because they said this, even with the chemo radiation surgery, you only have about a year to live.
Yes.
And she knew how much damage the chemo radiation surgery does to somebody in their last year, so why bother? And she just decided to go holistic, which I didn't even know what that meant in those days, but it means natural, all natural. You don't do no chemo radiation surgery. She switched her diet. She basically dropped meat, dairy, sugar, went vegan, juiced a lot, supplements, sweating toxins out. Because that's it. You don't have cancer, you do cancer, and you're doing it because of what you eat, drink, think, and breathe. Stop putting in the acidic foods and sweat out the acid that's in you, and next thing you know, all your diseases go away. Not just cancer, but your arthritis, your gout, whatever you had. Because there's one disease, one cure. The disease is acidosis, and the cure is alkalinity. So baking soda should be everybody's new best friend. A teaspoon of good old. Some people say, "Oh, Arm & Hammer, it's got bad stuff in it." Like, I don't know. I've been using it for years. Never bothered me. There's nothing in the ingredients other than sodium bicarbonate. So but some people will get picky with their brand of of sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. But I don't. I just take whatever I got, whatever's around, and I have it after, especially on a cheat day. Like, I eat alkaline, basically vegan most of the week, but on the weekends I'll have a burger, I'll have some ice cream. It's 80-20, 80-20. You want 80% of the time good, 20 have a little fun, so you live a little. Your life doesn't suck.
Yeah. No, man, it's mate. That's I mean, I was going to say before, I was lucky enough here in Australia, through some martial art connections I had in the US. Actually, I was able to get in and start helping stunt actors train for the Matrix films, and so I did a bit of. I was working with some stunt actors and in the day, and working with some mainline actors who were training in martial arts for different films that were done here in Sydney, Australia. So it was like Moulin Rouge. There was an actor called John Leguizamo, who's a Latin American actor. I worked with him a lot, and different stunt actors along the way. And it's quite interesting that the film industry is engulfing, and I know what you mean about engulfing. It's sort of like, to me, as an outsider, because I'm a martial artist, so I was just sort of brought into a studio set and sort of said, "Oh, train these guys up and whatever." To me, it felt like a big circus had come to town, and it was like a circus. This, and then it just goes, and then it's gone, and then it was awesome. But I do know what you mean. I didn't really get involved in the politics, of course, or I wasn't. I was sort of around it, not particularly in it, but around it. And I was glad to be able to go back to my school, my martial arts school, and it's a real thing. It's not there, here, and there. It was just solid. And although it was good fun at the time, that was
get back to earth. Got to come back to earth.
Get back to earth.
It's called Post Movie Blues. I got it after Kickboxer 3 because I went to Rio de Janeiro, most beautiful place on earth, most beautiful women, beautiful beaches, beautiful everything. And I'm getting mad money compared to what the average income there is, because it's a third world country. So I mean, I just had the time of my life. And everybody said, "That's it. You made it. You're the next Van Damme. You're the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't have to work anymore," which that means a lot to me. I don't like working. I like working for myself. I don't like working for slave owners, masters. I'm the master. So I thought, great, all right, finally I made it. About time. I'm only 24, 23. I should have made it by now. And then, of course, it doesn't happen. The blues kick in. You don't get another movie right away. All the money you made's gone. And then you're struggling. Everybody wants to be a movie star in Hollywood, anyway, for sure. I mean, it's the easiest job in the world. You get paid the most money, the most beautiful people. It's you're spoiled rotten. And then when it doesn't happen, it's fucking devastating. It's like, are you kidding me? I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a backup plan, and then this kind of it's good. It gets us off into another angle, which I love to talk about. I became an alcoholic,
Excuse me.
or as they say, bless you, as they say, I was born an alcoholic, probably. So it came out after my Hollywood career didn't work out, oddly enough, because I mean, again, there I go. Wait, I put my apprenticeship on hold years ago. I've got nothing left to do. I'm a great actor. Let me act. But I couldn't without selling my soul.
Yeah.
And so it's for anybody who wants to get into it, I wouldn't recommend it. If I could do it all over again, I would never would have went to Hollywood. Now that I know who runs it, they're evil. That Satan runs Hollywood. Wow. So you can't make it, really. I mean, you can't. And I'm going to give it another shot. I think since like now, what the hell? Nothing's really going on. I'm going to go back. And I think enough of them are gone, like the Harvey Weinstein's in jail, you know, those kind of people. I think it's a little cleaner than it used to, so I'm going to give it another shot. But
that's good.
I wouldn't recommend anybody to go. If you already have a decent life going, don't ruin it. Go and try and chase a Hollywood dream, because at this stage it's run by bad people, and you won't get a fair shot at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where you sort of. I mean, it's interesting the time that you're in there. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm in my early 50s. I'm 52, but back then it was like the golden era for martial arts. As you said, you had Van Damme, Seagal. You had obviously Chuck Norris was sort of still in the game. You had all these guys. Even obviously Jackie Chan was huge. Benny the Jet was doing some films then, and man, it was iconic. You know, it was like this as martial artists. You know, even as a martial artist, I was like, man, they're representing us on the screen. You know, like what and you guys were. I mean, how did that feel to be representing that community, the martial arts community? Was it awesome?
Yeah, it was great. It was like we all felt like, whoa. Did we not or what? Look at us. Look at Van Damme made Bloodsport 3 years ago, and here we are in Hollywood, 1990 or whatever it is, and we're making Bloodsport 2, or you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It was fun. It was the best time. That's why, as much as I complain about it, I still had the best time. I worked at the Roxbury as a security guy, VIP. So in between all these movies, I'm also bouncing at the hottest nightclub in the world. I'm babysitting the drunkest, most richest, craziest movie stars, singers. Madonna was always there, Prince, Eddie Murphy. I mean, wow. I was hanging out with the elite of the world, and getting.
What have you got any good stories, like big Hollywood sort of names, and just tell me one. Tell me a good story.
Yeah. Well, I gotta be careful. There was this boy. Let's see. Trying to think.
There's no doubt.
I got into a fight with one of my best rap groups. I hate telling this story because I love them. Jump around, jump up, jump, get down.
Crisscross? No.
No. Oh my God, I'm so old I can't even remember my favorite tunes anymore. Jump around, jump around. House of Pain.
Yes, House of Pain.
Yeah, they were in a club one night, and one of the guys got out of control, and I found out later it wasn't even his fault so much. But anyway, I won't get into it. There's a pretty big brawl, and I had to put some some leather but so yeah, I remember I got into a fight with Wesley Snipes' gang. He was there. No. And it looked like a huge race war, and it's just blacks and whites fighting on the Third Street Promenade, and I felt so bad about it too later, because it turned out it was one of our guys that started the fight.
Really?
Yeah, and so, but it was just a full-on martial art fight, like on the Third Street Promenade in Santa Monica. There's just black and white. Kicks and punches everywhere.
Oh, what?
And then we found out later that it was our guys that were the bad guys. I felt bad about that. So, I mean, there's a lot of that kind of stuff, a lot of fights, because I was always a bouncer, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Because I mean, what was that like doing door work, bouncing work in LA? What was it like back then? Was it full on?
you know, in Hollywood, there's hardly ever any fights. They're all just good talkers.
Okay.
But for a while there, I worked at a place called the Renaissance on 3rd Street Promenade. We were fighting every weekend because it's close to Venice Beach, where the gangs were, the gangbangers. So we were fighting almost every weekend. So it just depended what club you were working at, you know.
Wow. No, it's mate. So I mean, you've done it all. You sort of you've been doing obviously martial arts champion. You were then obviously brought into Hollywood, acting with some of the biggest names in martial art movies back then. Door work, bouncing work, smashing the doors, and then getting into then obviously filmmaking and being an activist for healthy living and sort of curing main illnesses. And mate, thank you for being you, mate. Thank you for you know what a life, man. What a life. I mean, is there you know is there anything that you look back on then and go, oh, you know, I would have gone that path, or I would do this path, or I mean, obviously you seem to have done it all. That's amazing, mate. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one because I'd like to say, oh, I wish I didn't drink, because that really ruined my career. I mean, what ruined my career was the scumbags that run Hollywood that wanted me to sell my soul to make it.
Yes.
But because I have morals and stuff, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then that was just, alcoholics don't need an excuse to drink.
Yes.
They do not. And so that was the perfect excuse to drink. See, look, I couldn't even become a movie star because of the freaking, you know, the people that run it. Yeah. Which is, you know, that's my bad. I should have toughened it up, sucked it up out of cup, and just kept going. But kind of got burnt out. It's a tough town, you know.
Yeah, man, I could imagine.
Yeah. You're always.
And mate, in the US, I mean, you know, I was over there just for some martial arts stuff. Actually, I had to fly into Atlanta and do like a seminar in there last year, and I sort of drove down to Orlando and had some fun down in Florida there. But I was going to say the US has gone through a bit of change in the last few years, and now the elections happen. It's which I suppose is a relief for everyone. And how are you feeling as a citizen of the US? How are you feeling with that, mate? That sort of glad that the election's all done and dusted and all that.
Yeah, I mean, well, and as I wear my heart on my sleeve, I'm telling you, I'm in a weird place right now, relationship-wise and life-wise. And if Trump would have lost, I don't know what I'd be. I might not be sober right now. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I've been sober now for 13 years.
Awesome,
so,
mate. That's great.
Yeah, there's a happy ending to that. So I kind of had one of these. Thanks, the alcohol makes it way worse, you know. Yes. And then I was able to snip that in the bud in my early 40s. So I've been alcohol-free and just, you know, I'm a martial artist. Thank God for that, because it got me back into the spiritual side of it, the meditating, everything. So.
Yeah, no. I'd say, mate, it's martial arts is. I mean, that's the great thing about martial arts, isn't it? I mean, it's just wherever you're at, it brings you into that humble place of knowing yourself and getting centered, and that's what it's all about, mate. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm lucky I have that, because I wouldn't have fared as well had I not had that.
Yeah, so. No, that's good, mate. But Ian Jacklin, thank you for being on Brett Russell Chats, and mate, amazing story. And we should keep in touch and chat more.
For sure. And let me just add, for anybody that wants, because I've written 4 books now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
The first one was just called I Cure Cancer, because Jason Brooks cured herself of cancer. using Dr. Bernardo's alkaline protocol.
Yeah.
And then down the line, I met another guy named Dr. Robert Oyong. I also heard about Dr. Sebi, who's another guy that they all use the same, basically, medicine, which is your food, which is alkalinity. Drink, eat everything right, everything alkaline. Get the baking soda going. And you can control. So that's what we kind of skipped that part there. I went from being a Hollywood movie star to a author.
Yes.
Because I had to get what was in here, all the bad things, all the shit that ruined me as a person and hurt me. There's a lot of good things in Hollywood too. So I had to get the good things out into these books. There's 4 books. There's I Cure Cancer. There's Alkaline, because that's how you cure cancer, is by getting alkaline as opposed to acidic. There's COVID 1984, because there was no COVID. It was a con by Big Pharma to get everybody to line up and get the shots, and that's what made them sick and killed them. The shots. There is no virus. The viral theory is a fraud. Okay. Antoine Béchamp debunked that. Over Pasteur a long time ago. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. So I wrote a book about it. COVID 1984. Okay, and that explains not only why there was a whole scamdemic, but also what to do about it, how to detox from the shots. If you unfortunately took the shots, you got bad things in you called graphene oxide and who knows what else. And there's ways of getting that out of you. So that's what this book's about. The 3rd book I wrote, COVID 1984, is to teach you why it was a scamdemic, it was a plandemic, scamdemic, not real, and what to do about it. And then the 4th book I wrote is Aging Gracefully. Basically, it's called A Warrior's Guide to Aging Gracefully. Like, if you just go to Ian Jacklin on Amazon. IANJACKLIN, Ian Jacklin on Amazon. All my books are there. And I also have a movie called
on Amazon. So everyone can look that up and get those books, mate. And mate, I know it's been certainly, I think, in the world, as you said, since probably just leading up to COVID and then post-COVID, it's been a crazy time. But I think I think life's going to get a little better in 2025, and it's going to settle down, and we're going to charge on and go hard and go ballistic. But maybe we'll keep you on as a regular on Brett Russell Chats. We'll chat more in the future, and
excellent.
We're going to delve more into martial arts, into movies, and into health. So let's get that.
All right, man. It's been a pleasure.
All good talking to you, mate. All good talking to you, and I will see you soon.
All right, brother. Peace.